Is Manchester United really fighting relegation? Here's what you need to know. Hey United fans, let's talk about something that's been keeping us all up at night. After our recent 2-0 loss to Newcastle at Old Trafford, new boss Ruben Amorim shocked everyone by suggesting relegation was a possibility. Pretty scary stuff, right? But before we all panic, let's look at what's really going on with our beloved club. The current situation. Where do we stand? Right now, United sit in 14th place in the Premier League. We're 7 points above the relegation zone, with Ipswich Town being the closest team below the safety line. I know, just seeing United and relegation in the same sentence feels wrong. After all, we haven't been relegated for 50 years, since that painful 1973-74 season. How bad is it really? Let's be honest, things aren't great. The numbers tell a pretty rough story. Since Amorim took over in November, we've only picked up 7 points from 8 league games. That's 2 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses. December was particularly tough. We lost 6 games across all competitions, something that hasn't happened since 1962. We even let in 18 goals that month, matching our worst defensive record in a single month since way back in 1964. The recent home form is especially worrying. We've lost 3 home league games in a row, the first time this has happened since 1979. That's not the kind of history we want to be making. But here's why you shouldn't panic. Now, before you start having nightmares about away days at championship grounds, let's look at some reassuring facts. First, let's talk about the magic number. How many points do teams usually need to stay up? Since the Premier League changed to a 38-game season in 1995-96, teams have typically needed around 36 points to avoid relegation. The average for finishing 17th, just above the relegation zone, is 38 points. Where are we now? We've got 22 points from 19 games, exactly halfway through the season. Even if we keep playing as badly as we have under Amorim, and surely things can only get better, right? We'd end up with about 39 points. That would normally be enough to stay up. What do the experts say? Here's where it gets really interesting. The number crunchers at Opta, the stats people everyone trusts, have run thousands of simulations of how the season might end. Want to know our chances of actually getting relegated? A tiny 0.1% chance of finishing 18th, and 0 chance of finishing lower than that. In fact, they think we're more likely to finish 5th, 1.3% chance, than get relegated. Their calculations suggest we'll most likely finish 12th, with about 50 points. Not great for Manchester United standards, but definitely not relegation form. Some perspective, please. Remember the 1989-90 season? We were 15th at New Year's Eve, even lower than we are now. That team went on to finish 13th and won the FA Cup under Sir Alex Ferguson. Look how that turned out in the long run. Also, it's worth noting that we're one of only 6 teams that have never been relegated from the Premier League since it started in 1992. The financial power of big clubs these days makes it even less likely for a team like United to go down. What's next? While relegation talk makes for dramatic headlines, the reality is much less scary. Yes, we're having a terrible season by our standards. Yes, the football hasn't been great to watch. And yes, we need to improve significantly. But let's keep our heads. The data shows we're far more likely to bore our way to a mid-table finish than face any real relegation danger. The challenge now is not about avoiding relegation. It's about how we can climb back up the table and get back to where Manchester United belongs. What do you think? Has Amorim's comment about relegation being a possibility made you worried? Or do you think this is just a rough patch we need to get through? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, we've been through tough times before and come out stronger. This might not be the season we hoped for, but United's too big, too rich, and too good to go down. The stats back that up, even if the current performances don't. Keep the faith, Reds. Better days are ahead. Manchester United transfer buzz. Separating fact from fiction. Are you sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for the latest Manchester United transfer news? Let's dive into the swirling rumors and set the record straight about what's really happening at Old Trafford. The January transfer window drama. The transfer mill is churning again, and this time it's serving up some interesting claims about Manchester United's potential moves. Word on the street suggests a £70 million forward deal is in the works, with agents reportedly spotted at Carrington discussing salary details. But before we get too excited, let's take a closer look at what we know. Recent performance woes. Let's address the elephant in the room. United's form hasn't been great. The recent 1-0 loss to Wolves marks their 8th Premier League defeat this season. For a club of United stature, these results are concerning. The team's struggles have naturally led to speculation about potential reinforcements. The Dani Olmo speculation. Here's where things get interesting. Recent reports from the Daily Mail claim United are eyeing Barcelona's Dani Olmo. However, this is where we need to pause and fact-check. Something doesn't add up in these reports. Why the story doesn't stack up. 1. Player status confusion. Dani Olmo currently plays for RB Leipzig, not Barcelona. This is a fundamental error in the circulating reports that raises red flags about their reliability. 2. Management mix-up. The reports mention Ruben Amorim as United's head coach. This is incorrect. Erik ten Hag remains Manchester United's manager. Such a basic error further undermines the credibility of these transfer claims. 3. Registration claims. The story includes an unusual claim about Olmo being registered only until December 31st due to Barcelona's financial issues. This doesn't align with how player registrations typically work in professional football. What does this mean for United fans? As United supporters, it's natural to get excited about potential signings, especially during a challenging season. However, it's crucial to approach transfer news with a critical eye. Ask yourself, is the source reliable? Do the basic facts check out? Does the timing make sense? Are the financial details realistic? Looking ahead, what United really needs. Instead of focusing on unverified rumors, let's consider what Manchester United actually needs in this transfer window. Squad depth. The team could benefit from additional attacking options to improve goal-scoring capabilities. Defensive reinforcement. Recent performances suggest the defense might need strengthening. Midfield balance. A midfielder who can control the game's tempo could make a significant difference. How to stay informed. For reliable transfer news, consider following. Official club communications. Established football journalists with proven track records. The club's official social media channels. Verified news sources. The impact on United's season. The January transfer window could be crucial for United's chances of securing Champions League football next season. Whether through a top 4 finish or potentially a top 5 spot, smart recruitment could make the difference. Questions to consider. What positions should United prioritize in January? How much should the club be willing to spend mid-season? Should the focus be on immediate impact players or long-term prospects? How will financial fair play regulations affect United's transfer strategy? Fan perspective. As United fans, we've seen our fair share of transfer sagas. Some have led to amazing signings like Bruno Fernandes, while others have ended in disappointment. This is why it's important to maintain perspective and not get carried away with every rumor. Social media impact. Transfer rumors spread like wildfire on social media. While platforms like Twitter and Instagram can be great for staying updated, they can also be breeding grounds for misinformation. Remember to check sources, look for verification, wait for official announcements, be skeptical of anonymous sources. The bigger picture. Manchester United's transfer strategy needs to align with long-term club vision, financial sustainability, squad balance, youth development plans. Lessons from past windows. History has taught us that January transfers can be tricky. While some mid-season signings have transformed teams, others have struggled to adapt. United needs to be strategic rather than reactive in their approach. Moving forward, what can we expect in the coming weeks? While the Olmo story may not hold water, United might still be active in the transfer market. The key is to stay patient, trust official sources, keep expectations realistic, focus on verified news. The bottom line. While it's exciting to discuss potential transfers, it's important to separate fact from fiction. The circulating stories about Olmo and management changes don't stand up to scrutiny. However, this doesn't mean United won't strengthen in January. It just means we need to be more discerning about the rumors we believe. What next for United fans? Keep supporting the team. Stay informed through reliable sources. Maintain realistic expectations. Focus on actual team performance. Your turn. What do you think United needs most in this transfer window? Which positions would you prioritize? Share your thoughts and let's keep the discussion going. But remember to base it on facts rather than unverified rumors. Remember, in the world of football transfers, patience and skepticism are often rewarded. Let's wait for official announcements before getting too excited about any potential moves. Stay tuned for more verified United news, and keep supporting the Red Devils through thick and thin. Breaking news. Antony transfer talk. What's really going on? Has Antony's time at Manchester United finally run out? Let's cut through the noise and look at what's really happening with United's Brazilian winger. The big numbers. When United signed Antony from Ajax in 2022, eyebrows were raised at the £82 million price tag. For that kind of money, fans expected fireworks. Instead, they've seen more fizzle than flash. The stats tell a story. Let's be honest, the numbers aren't great. In 93 appearances for United, Antony has managed 12 goals, 5 assists. For a player who cost £82 million, these statistics tell a story of unfulfilled potential. Many fans are asking, was this United's most expensive mistake? Real Betis rumors. New reports from ABC Sevilla suggest Real Betis wants to sign Antony in January. But before we jump to conclusions, let's look at what we know for sure. What's true and what's not. Recent reports have mixed some facts with fiction. Here's what's accurate. Antony joined from Ajax in 2022. The transfer fee was £82 million plus add-ons. His performance statistics are correct. However, some claims need correcting. Erik ten Hag remains United's manager. There is no truth to claims about Ruben Amorim. No Newcastle match happened as reported. The bigger picture. Why might United consider selling? Several factors come into play. Performance issues. Antony has struggled to adapt to Premier League football. The speed, physicality, and intensity of English football seem to have caught him off guard. Financial considerations. United needs to balance their books. Selling underperforming players could free up funds for new signings. Squad balance. Does Antony fit United's current playing style? This question becomes more pressing with each underwhelming performance. What the fans think. United supporters have mixed feelings. While many appreciate Antony's occasional flashes of skill, patience is wearing thin. Common fan complaints include predictable playing style, lack of end product, poor decision-making, inconsistent performances. The transfer market reality. Could Real Betis really afford Antony? Spanish clubs often operate under tight financial constraints. Any deal would likely involve a significant loss on United's initial investment, possible loan with option to buy, complex payment structure. Looking ahead, what does the future hold for Antony? Several scenarios seem possible. January exit? If the right offer comes in, United might cut their losses. Summer move more likely? A summer transfer could give all parties more time to arrange a suitable deal. One more chance? Perhaps Antony deserves more time to prove himself. Impact on United's season. How would losing Antony affect United's campaign? Consider squad depth, tactical flexibility, financial implications, youth development opportunities. Questions for fans. What do you think United should do? Keep Antony and hope he improves? Sell in January if possible? Wait until summer to make a decision. Look for a loan deal? Learning from experience. What can United learn from the Antony situation? Key takeaways include more thorough scouting needed, better value assessment required, importance of adaptation period, need for clear transfer strategy. The financial picture. United needs to be smart about any potential sale. Key considerations. Minimizing financial loss. FFP regulations. Reinvestment possibilities. Wage bill impact. Fan perspective matters. Your voice counts. What matters most to you? Team performance. Financial stability. Squad harmony. Long-term planning. Next steps. While we wait for official news, Here's what to watch for. Official club statements, reliable journalist reports, agent movements, training ground updates. Stay informed. Want to keep up with this story? Follow official United channels, trusted football journalists, reliable news sources, club communications. Looking forward. Whatever happens with Antony, United needs to learn from this experience. Future transfers must be more carefully considered. What's your take? How do you see this situation playing out? Share your thoughts and keep following for updates on this developing story. Remember, in football, things can change quickly. While Antony's United career hasn't gone as planned, there's always room for surprises in the beautiful game. Stay tuned for more United news and keep supporting the team through thick and thin. After all, that's what being a United fan is all about. The truth matters. In an age of instant news and social media rumors, it's more important than ever to stick to verified facts. Keep following trusted sources for real United updates. Together as United fans, let's hope whatever happens serves the best interests of our beloved club. The January transfer window promises to be interesting. Watch this space. Ilya Zabarnyi transfer from AFC Bournemouth to Manchester United. Ilya Zabarnyi is also courting interest from Manchester United as the club looks to bolster its squad. The Bournemouth centre-back has attracted attention not only from Manchester United but also from Chelsea, who may offer a more appealing option, and several La Liga sides. As Zabarnyi is a highly admired player, his potential move could see intense competition among these top clubs. Tomori transfer from Milan to Manchester United. Manchester United might renew interest in AC Milan's Fikayo Tomori, who is reportedly on the transfer list. Previously linked to United in 2023, Tomori could be considered again due to injuries and expiring contracts of United centre-backs, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. AC Milan views Tomori as a luxury reserve, favoring Matteo Gabbia and Malik Thiaw. Tomori, open to returning to England, has instructed his team to explore Premier League options. Newcastle is a more likely destination, but United remains interested if the €30 million, £24.9 million, fee fits their budget.